Bring it back to Pittsburgh, where once again Bill Cowher is in the hunt for Coach of the Year honors in the National Football League. But his team played a poor game in losing to Cincinnati last week, and some local columnists say that it was the worst game a Pittsburgh team has played in the second half of the season since Cowher's been the head coach. Mike Hollis will kick it off for the Jaguars. Deep to receive for the Steelers. Ernie Mills and Eric Pegram. Very short kickoff taken by Mills at the 20-yard line. And the former Florida Gator is across the 40 to the 41-yard line. So the Steelers will start with excellent field position. After the 22-yard return, Hollis, the kicker, had to come down and make the stop. You know that the offensive line for the Steel City Boys lost Leon Searcy at right tackle. Justin Strausick has stepped in and done a sensational job there. They lost Brendan Stye at guard. Tom Myslenski's done a good job. Tim Lester blocks for Jerome Bettis. Number 10 / Cordell Stewart on the field now. Mills in motion. Steelers going out of a 4-wide receiver set. Jacksonville blitzing. Tomczak gets it into the hands of Mills. And Mills is down the sideline into Jacksonville territory on a big third down pickup by the Steelers. 21-yard gain.
And boy, I tell you what, Mills just, boy, he certainly wished that ball was coming a little bit quicker, because it just kind of floated out there. Watch, you see him right there coming across. He's just going to take a slide out into the flat. The ball floated, just kind of laying out there, but enough, good hands grabbing on the ball.
Because the Steelers have been gaining the initiative with the running game on first.
That's right. Look at the graphic right here. Two guys, Jerome Bettis, as I said, rushing on first down, leads the NFL. Also, Eric Pegram leads the NFL in yards per carry, 6.5. Incredible numbers, this running attack.
And the Steelers missing normal starter Willie Williams at the corner, with Dion Figures stepping in, go to a 5 defensive back alignment on first down as Brunell goes out of the gun. And with the heat on, the Steelers are able to blunt the Brunell passing attempt. Pittsburgh still getting the great pass rush even without Greg Lloyd. And here's a look at the Jacksonville offensive line with the bookend tackles Boselli and Searcy. A lot of people say Boselli had his best game yet last week in the comeback win over Baltimore. Brunell with James Stewart threatening to rush for 1,000 yards this year. Behind him is only the Steelers and Steeler derivative Carolina Panthers, coached by former Steeler assistant Dom Capers, played the 3-4 defense in this league. Excellent play from all 4 linebackers so far this year. Rod Woodson, 2 interceptions a week ago, has 5 interceptions already this end in Pittsburgh territory at the 42. Chad Brown trying to get the heat on Brunell. The pass is incomplete. Again intended for Jimmy Smith, and this time Figures a step closer with the coverage.
Yeah.
He is having a Pro Bowl season, having moved to the outside to replace Lloyd. The give is to Stewart. And the Steelers typically tough against the run. Blunt Stewart after the gain of about a yard. Again, Jason Gildon there to make the stop. The Pro Bowl at corner last year, could make it again as a safety this year. Brunell 1 for 3, down the middle. Couldn't quite get it into the hands of number 80, Willie Jackson. Jackson working against double coverage, had position inside in the seam. Brunell just a little high. Look at the Steelers Pro Bowl center, Dermontti Dawson. Pro Bowl centers have been a long tradition here in Pittsburgh.
And I played against the guy in the middle, Mike Webster, for more years than I'd like to remember, and I have the scars to prove it. But look at the 3 guys there. Look at all the games, and they all play a very similar style. As a matter of fact, Dermontti Dawson was telling us yesterday that he spent a lot of time under the tutelage of Mike Webster, and I'm going to be watching for certain techniques that Mike Webster used to do on me that, borderline on being maybe not fair.
Wrinkles, the use of Stewart at quarterback in short yardage and goal line situations. Here he simply hands off to Bettis. And Bettis is muffled, I believe, short of the first down. This will be close.
Well, they use him in short yardage and goal line situations, as they show that they got the first down. His threat of running that option, his mobility, his ability to make those moves really kind of makes the defense approach it a little bit differently.
In helping the Steelers through the playoffs and into the Super Bowl. On first down, Bettis looking for running room outside, makes a nice cut to get beyond the corner, and a gain of about 4. Eddie Robinson this year, Cowher has gotten him to perform in all the roles he wanted him to. Pitch from Tomczak is to Mark Bruner, the tight end, and Bruner excites the crowd by fighting forward for first down yardage. Again, Eddie Robinson makes the tackle. Has not yet made a stink about it. And That surprises some folks who had him in San Diego. Chad Brown rockets through the middle and grabs Brunell.
Like I said last week, 4.5 sacks.
Second down, 19. Brunell flips in the flat to Stewart. And Stewart has a gain of a couple, and Rod Woodson adds to the crescendo.
Well, it looked like that Brunell wanted to go to Stewart right from day one. I mean, he looked out there, there's a little pushing and shoving going on. He took a quick look downfield, saw nothing immediately, went to throw to Stewart. Now, Chad Brown right out there forces Stewart wide, and as he went a little bit wide, Rod Woodson just stoned him.
And Woodson, the Steeler defensive captain.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 79 on the offense. That's a 15-yard penalty. Still second down.
All the way to midfield to move the chain. And as the noise rises again, Brunell fires, incomplete. Dire straits, third down, 32. Draw call for Stewart. Stewart pads the yardage still a little bit. Carnell Lake rides him out of bounds along with help from Brenson Buckner and Randy Fuller. And Brian Barker's second punt of the day coming. Andre Hastings waits at his 30. Now comes all the way up to the 40 to take the football. Hastings with a seam up the middle into Jacksonville territory to the 43-yard line. Travis Davis makes the stop. 40-yard punt, 17-yard return. Steelers will have a scoring opportunity with possession in Jacksonville territory when we come back. Pro Bowl Center. Steelers starts his possession from the 43-yard line of Jacksonville, and Bettis shows you the nifty feet to go with the 243-pound frame.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, beautiful blocking by that offensive line. Cordell Stewart back in, short yardage situation as he usually appears.
Third down and 1. Stewart this time fakes it to Bettis, rolls himself, and will fight to get to the marker, and pretty good job of holding him off by Dana Hall, leading a host of Jacksonville tacklers.
Beautiful job by Dana Hall of coming up and making that hit. Not only making the hit, but standing him up, keeping him, which might be just short as you're going to bring the chains out. But, that's what happens with him, the versatility that he brings, because you got to be able to react up when he runs with it.
Clock has run to 0, so the measurement is the last official act of the first quarter. In the slot to the left. Tomczak on second down, fires to Thigpen, and Thigpen cuts inside and fights for yardage down to the 12-yard line. Dana Hall with the stop, and Thigpen's most positive contribution of the day is a 23-yard pickup. Bill Cowher likes receivers with some speed, but a lot of toughness. Tailback lined up next to Tomczak. Stewart in motion back to the ball. 4 wide receivers in the end zone, and he's caught in the corner by Thigpen. That's what happened to Thigpen.
You see Thigpen right there looking inside, fading to the outside. Cordell Stewart in motion, maybe messed him up a little bit.
Back on the banks of the Three Rivers, the Steelers complete an 8-play, 44-yard drive. 12-yard touchdown pass from Tomczak to Thigpen on third down, and a big play in the corner by Yancey.
Beautiful coverage by Brooks, but the throw was right there. Thigpen with a great grab.
It is Ricky Bell who takes the kickoff from Johnson. Flag fly. Bell loses the football. Jaguars have it and a chance to go the distance. But the flag will probably nullify this. It's Travis Davis, the safety, who picked up the muff and took it down the field. And there is an injured Jaguar on the field. So we'll wait to sort all of this out.
And it does.
Personal foul, low block on the return team, on the run back, number 53.
Yeah, one of the rules.
We'll assess that penalty from the spot of the fall. Be half the distance to the goal, first down.
Rich Tilsky, starting offensive guard for the Jaguars. He's on the sideline after having been brought up from the field. Jeff Novak, former Dolphin, number 67, replaces Tilsky in the lineup, and the Steelers pour past Novak and the right side of the line. And Jason Gildon has a sack and a fumble, and Steed has the recovery, and the Steelers are going to have first and goal inside the Jacksonville 5.
Man, Jason Gildon coming off of the side. Look, you're going to see him there right here at the top. He's going up against nobody. The defensive scheme set up that they really blew their assignment on the offensive front. Nobody there to stop Gildon. I thought he was working against Leon Searcy, but watch it. Gildon hits. Then Levon Kirkland coming in, knocking the ball loose.
And Whitman.
Just a matter of time before they run the option.
Here's Bettis. Touchdown. Will Wolford. Powerful blocking out in front of Jerome Bettis, who bowls over Travis Davis and goes into the end zone.
The bus. Boy, when you got Wolford leading the way, you could be a little back and still get in.
What a pickup Wolford was. They lost Leon Searcy. They got Wolford from the Colts. Value for value.
Yeah, watch here at the top, 77. Just a nice block on the outside. Wolford doesn't power him, just kind of gets him in position.
Brought the Jacksonville Jaguars from 11 points down in the closing minutes of the game against Baltimore. He'll need to engineer another comeback today. Kickoff from Norm Johnson, fumbled by Randy Jordan. Jordan keeps the football in bounds, looks for room, and the field position nightmare continues for the Jaguars as Jordan is down inside the 10, and again, a Jaguar player is on the field injured.
Michael Cheever, rookie center, down another lineman, another offensive lineman.
Well, they'd already lost Brian DeMarco. That's why Tilsky was in the starting lineup.
He had the MCL injury.
That's right.
For the Steelers, Orpheus Roy as he goes down. Look at this. As you attack, you're basically a wedge buster. Your job is just to go down and just to knock people down. Rushing inside with sacks when he played a lot there early this season and last season. Has done outside. I think you go either way with him.
McCardell in motion on 3rd down 5. Steelers blitzing again. Brunell gets it to Stewart. And Jason Gildon won't let him get outside. Bill Johnson, number 90, was there as well, but it was really a one-on-one situation for Gildon.
I'm going to keep the pressure up. And he stays after him, forcing Brunell to get the ball thrown out there. Stays in his face, and then Gildon with great pursuit making the play.
Brian Barker on the punt again for Jacksonville. Off the side of the foot, very short. And to repeat, the field position nightmare continues for Jacksonville as the Steelers will have the football at midfield after a 25-yard Barker punt. Already with 107 total yards in the game. 21-0 early lead for Denver against New England. Ernie Mills on the reverse here, and Mills has more than 10 as he fights his way back to the middle of the field and makes it a 15-yard pickup down to the 35-yard line. Targeted Brunell's. As usual, he is not thrown to Rising. Gildon with the big play from outside linebacker. The third-year player out of Oklahoma State is rapidly becoming a star on the Steeler defense.
You know what? We asked the Jaguars. We said, as we watch Gildon again come unchecked, but we asked the Jaguars, we said, you're playing against a three-man front, the 3-4 defense, the zone blitz type of defense. They said, is it a big deal? Because it's not the norm. He goes, no, we played the Steelers twice. We played Carolina. We played Baltimore, who's been forced to go to a three-man front. And you see there he comes in unchecked. He goes, so we know how to do this. Obviously, they don't because there's been a few plays now.
Coleman saw Stewart making the catch. He says, how do I hide my 325-pound frame out here? Brunell fires high over the head of Willie Jackson. 3rd and 32. This is even better. 7th play of this possession.
Don't want to draw play.
Steelers bringing it again. And Brunell will loft it. Out of bounds. The Steeler 3-4 has, for the moment, thoroughly disrupted the Jaguar offense.
Man.
And the terrible towels are out in Pittsburgh.
Watch Levon Kirkland, Chad Brown, 94-99. First, Chad Brown gets knocked down, almost grabs Brunell's feet, but Kirkland just keeps running after him. Jason Gildon, big surprise there again to make the hit, and Levon Kirkland chasing him down.
Barker's last punt was a bad one, so is this one. Andre Hastings running up to take the short kick and fighting through the seam to the 45-yard line.
It wasn't pretty.
It's at his 15-yard line. Kirk Botkin, the number 3 tight end, snaps it to Miller, and that's an excellent punt. Hudson catching it and going down immediately at the 12-yard line. Lethan Flowers. Last 9 games, and kind of makes you wonder why more teams don't play 3-4.
Well, you know, the way that these guys play it, this zone blitz type of 3-4, where you're always moving people around. You don't know if the inside backers are coming. You don't know if the outside backers are coming.
He's got an ankle spankle.
Yeah.
On 2nd down and short, Brunell's pass is dropped by the normally sure-handed Pete Mitchell. Number has come up today. I've won the lottery. Brunell fires deep. The number 81, Andre Rison, trying to get it over the top of Randy Fuller. And whether Rison has lost a step, and you're talking playoffs at 4 and 6, that shows you their confidence. Brunell slips away, and now he'll have to use the timeout after Stewart goes down here. Dangerous lateral. They're down in a yard.
Whatever he does, he's got to get rid of the ball quickly. Boy, I don't know.
Pete Mitchell was the intended receiver.
Down by the goal line. It led to a score by the Steelers. So
to the 24-yard line, Steve Conley downfield to make the stop for the Steelers. First down from the 26. Give is to Natron, and Means is wrapped up. Bill's best chance. Steeler blitz. Carnell Lake. And Lake is going to have a touchdown. No flags. Tremendous play by Carnell Lake.
But it didn't fool anybody. You're going to see 37 Carnell Lake totally unblocked, as we've seen happen all day. You know, they keep talking about, we know this defense, but continually all day.
But only 148 yards. Obviously, the sack yardage has something to do with that. Brenson Buckner chasing Brunell, and now it's going to be Kevin Henry who has him in his grasp. They're trying to make to Rison is that McCardell works harder in practice. Brunell's throw intended for Rison, incomplete on 3rd down. Citizen with his new team.
Well, I mean, I don't think he's ever recovered from the fact that he's not in a run and shoot anymore.
Jerome Bettis on 1st down. Punts for another 1st down as Mickey Washington and Aaron Beasley, the 2 corners, snap it to him. Chris Hudson, deep for Jacksonville. Hudson waits at his 25. Chases it cross field and is knocked out of bounds by Chris Oldham. 45-yard punt, no return. Big day on special teams tackling for number 24, Chris Oldham, in the 3rd quarter. Mark Brunell with a difficult day so far. Gives to James Stewart. Stewart is melted in the open field by Rod Woodson. There are corners in this league who don't love contact and might not make a tackle like that, but Woodson is not one of them.
Woodson comes up, stays backside, doesn't over pursue. Right there to make a nice hit.
Brunell fires into the hands of Deion Figures, and Figures brings it back across the 35, across the 45, and a flag goes down as Figures is taken out of bounds. And Bill Cowher hugging his man.
And that's going to be the penalty in that situation, probably going to go against the Jaguars. Unsportsmanlike conduct.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 90 on the intercepting team after the play was over. That's a 15-yard penalty, 1st down.
Now there's Rison right there. Watch him. He's gonna take it deep. But as he starts his route, watch him. He's just gonna go, and right here he's not even looking. He's just jogging. Totally blew the communication on what that route was supposed to be. I think he thought he was just a decoy drawing people out of underneath routes, underneath zones, and just totally ball thrown right to Deion Figures.
And you saw how furious Brunell was at the receiver as Bettis breaks free and crunches into Jacksonville territory to the 43-yard line. Chris Hudson with the saving tackle. 4 yards worth of losses on those last 2 plays for Bettis, so it's 3rd and 14 as Tomczak fires down the middle, complete the number 82 Yancey Thigpen inside the Jacksonville 30. Washington and Hall on the stop.
You said it before, they're picking on Mickey Washington.
Thigpen again. Second touchdown of the day. And he beat Mickey Washington. 27-yard touchdown throw. Tomczak to Yancey Thigpen. 28-3 with 56 seconds remaining in the third period. A statement there. Almost picked off by Lake, and that would have been Carnell's second touchdown of the day if he had held on. And it's third down 10. Stewart with the football. Steelers snuff that one. Levon Kirkland does a tremendous job of sweeping the center of the field against draws and screens. He did it there. Gene Washington moment.
Anticipating a fine.
Tomczak gives to Pegram, and Pegram squirts out of the backfield and has first down yardage, and flags fly as Travis Davis drives him out of bounds across the 45.
Yancey Thigpen was pointing his face mask.
5 yards, number 45 on the defense. We'll put it at the end of the run. First down.
Well, Travis Davis working up against Yancey Thigpen, bottom of your screen. You probably aren't going to get a chance to see it, but as he's blocking, I think Travis Davis trying to get released. Right there, he gets a hand on the face mask. I don't think either one, our quarterbacks, are going to totally take control of the game.
Did Searcy pull out too early? No flag. Woodson will get a flag for interference here against Rison.
Rison is being anything more than a long ball guy, but there Woodson coming to make a play on the ball all over the back of Andre
That is
Rison.
a pretty picky interference call, Bob. I don't know. I think he got a hand on the football as it was arriving.
He also hit him in the back.
Okay. Chad Brown. Loose football. Steelers can't control it. It'll be Jacksonville ball back at the Jaguar 35.
Well, good rush. Chad Brown, just a speed rush up on the top. Not only does he get a shot on the quarterback and pretty much almost yank Brunell's face mask off, but Johnson get his hands on the ball. You know, defensive linemen just aren't used to having their hands on the ball that much and controlling it.
See if they can get it against the Steeler blitz. Got a chance. Yep. Got a chance. Going to be 3rd and 34 instead. Chad Brown with his third sack of the day.
To use the term tenacious is an understatement. He's
limping too.
He's limping. Remember, he got nicked a little early. Watch him. He gets double teamed.
There's Brenson Buckner with a hand on Brunell. Brunell gets away from Buckner. Now here comes Brown.
Here's a position. You know, he's in a position where he's working hard. He's pushing through. He's getting double teamed, but he doesn't quit. I know a lot of players in those situations would just stand around and say, "Hey, the play's over. I'm out of it." Hardly ever. But now they've put themselves in this position 3 times so far this game.
Brunell, chased by Gildon, and Buckner is finally able to get rid of the football. Josh Miller standing inside his 5-yard line.
Well, he rips one.
Yeah, that's a pretty good kick, but it goes out of bounds in Jacksonville territory.
Isn't going to give him enough points quick enough.
Brown again pressuring Brunell as Brunell releases and the ball is dropped. 3rd down 3. And a good defensive play out there on the corner by Randy Fuller.
He had to make a big play. He was trying to get that ball and get it in a flow.
Gilbride's talking to Willie Jackson about that route right now. Barker hits his best punt of the day. Hastings goes back to the 6. Hastings thinks of a 94-yard return, but he's dragged down from behind. by number 57, Jeff Kopp.
He's crowding my line of scrimmage just a little bit too much, and the running game's getting kind of ugly in here.
Pegram on 2nd down 5. Squirts forward for a gain of about 5. Been whammed plenty.
I don't know if it's what it's called or what it sounds like.
Probably accounted for some of those 20 or so concussions that you've had. 28-3. Ernie Mills in motion. Tom Sachs pitching to Pegram. Interesting little play. You won't see that one coming out of a lot of NFL playbooks, but it leads to a first down for Pittsburgh here. Robert Massey makes the stop.
Basically about where do these guys get that kind of money?
So did you help them with that one, Bob? Jaguars looking for some small consolation to take on the plane flight home. Kickoff. Woodson, 6th interception of the year, 3rd in 2 games.
Oliver Gibson on Brunell. Carnell Lake with the play on the ball, tipping it up for Woodson to make the play.
So the Pittsburgh Steelers effectively rebound from their admittedly lousy performance last week against Cincinnati, and the Jacksonville Jaguars get another lesson on the road, and old pro Clyde Simmons has a laugh or two, even with his black-shirted opponents. A couple of Washington Huskies there, Mark Bruner and Mark Brunell.